right, got this question from a couple of my followers on networking. How to network? Can you give me some tips? And what are the factors or things to keep in mind when networking? Okay. Now I'll limit this networking video to offline, not online. Online is a totally different principle by itself. Online is more like you find someone's profile on LinkedIn or any of the social media and you send them a call out or shout out or message, DM, direct message, or PM, private message. That is different. So I'll focus more on human to human interaction. Okay. And like I say, I do not know at what level you are. Are you a beginner, intermediate, advanced, or super advanced? So I'll just try to cover up the basics, the most important, whether you're junior or advanced. Now, see, what is networking? Networking is nothing but interacting with another human being. Okay? It's, you want to meet someone, you want to get to know them. So it can be, dating is a form of networking, speed dating, or just casual conversation, or business networking. So it all comes under networking. When you go to a seminar or a conference or an event or a party, and you see someone and hi, how are you, and you extend your hand, or you just start having a conversation. Now obviously I'm not going to talk about dating because it's not a video on dating. It's more got to do with business. So in a business setup, almost everyone is there for a purpose or an agenda. And predominantly the major one is networking. So that is why they have these business events, conferences, seminars. So people can network with each other. And it all depends on what is the theme. If the theme is engineering, then you'll meet engineers. If it is construction, you'll meet construction professionals. If it is AI, artificial intelligence, you'll meet people from that industry. And then you'll also meet support staff from that same industry. What do I mean by support staff is, it's more like, for example, at an AI conference or engineering conference, maybe you'll have people who make websites. Maybe you'll have people who print business cards, brochures, flyers. They'll also be there. Why? Because they know I can get some business. And obviously the engineers or the AI people see, okay, you can offer me your services or whatever. So now, having got that out of the way, so what are the fundamentals? I think the first thing what you need to do is evaluate where is the location that you're going to, what is the theme, who are the kinds of people, if you can have a guest list. This is the homework you need to do. And what do I mean by that? For example, if you are, let's say in UAE, if you are in Sharjah and you have to go to Dubai, so obviously you have to calculate the distance. And then you have to calculate also during peak hours. Maybe that conference, that place will be packed jam. Maybe there'll be a traffic jam of going in, going out. Maybe there'll be no parking. But to keep all these factors in mind. And I'll tell you why that is important later on. So you have to evaluate the distance and time. The second thing what you need to keep in mind is, what is the theme? Engineering, AI, construction, design, creativity, food, health. Now, why you have to know the theme? Because then you need to ask yourself, what is the value I offer each and every participant there? And what is the value they get out of me? And you have to have this answer verbally and in writing to make it clear to yourself so that you can communicate to others. Then the next one is, if you can get the guest list or you can get the participants, then obviously you'll know which companies you would like to target, or you'll have an idea. And I'll tell you that later also why that is important. But then the last few are the most important. And what are they? How many days is the seminar or conference or networking event? If it is 3 days, okay, and there are 300 participants, that means per day you have a deadline of 100 each, 100. But obviously you can't meet 100 people in an 8-hour function, right? Or 10 hours. Let's say, for example, there are 10 hours, 3 days, okay, 300 participants. So if there are 300 participants in 3 days, every day you have to meet 100. And if the seminar is, or conference or event is open 10 hours, you have to meet 10 people per hour. And that roughly equates to 6 people per, 10 people per hour, that means 10 per hour. So if you have 10 people per hour, that means every 6 minutes you need to finish off with one guy, because then 160, you know how the maths goes, okay? But now it's not possible to meet everyone in the limited span of time. For example, if you were to talk to someone, obviously it takes time. The person's talking to someone else, you're standing there, then finally you come front, then he starts talking to you. Maybe he'll invite you for tea, coffee, maybe he'll sit and talk to you for some time, maybe he'll tell you hold, and so instead of 6 minutes can go 10 minutes, can go 15 minutes. And maybe if the guy is a decision maker, or maybe is very important, it can go up to 30 minutes. There have been even situations where the guy just wants to talk to you, and you know he's a VIP, you don't want to let go of that opportunity. So all these factors you have to keep in mind. So before you go to a networking event, find out all this information, and then evaluate how many people you want to meet, who you want to meet, how much time do you have in your hands, and you have a set target. Generally, if it is a 3-day event or 5-day event, I tell the individual, go day 1 and just take a full round, full area, take down notes, who is there, who are the brands, who are the people, who are the companies, who are the decision makers, and make a target who you have to go. But obviously, if it is not a 5-day event or 3-day event, and you have only 1 day, then you don't have that luxury. Then you have to work fast. And if it is a 1-hour event, then it's even more pressure for you. So find that out. Now, if it is a 1-day event, or you have only 1 hour, whatever the case be, go be the earliest, be the first person there. Like if it is 8 o'clock is the event, see if the gates open by 7:30 or even 7. Be there early. Why? Set yourself up where you need to be. Make sure that all your, if you have a man bag where you keep all your toiletries, all, everything from having toothpaste and brush, because sometimes you might have something, or, maybe a air freshener, maybe perfume, maybe, whatever, notepad, iPad, pen, money, whatever you have in your bag. Keep all that ready there. Set up your base, know that where, okay, I start from here, and wait. And as people come in, target who you wanted to meet and meet them first, and evaluate the time. Because if it's a 1-hour event and you want to meet 6 people, each person you can spend maximum 6 minutes. Okay, so you have to time yourself and know how much time per person. The next important thing which I want you to keep in mind is, you're not there to eat food, you're not there to chit-chat nonsense, you're not there to have a friendly banter and kill time. You're there to introduce yourself fast to that person, take that person's contact details, and schedule a meeting later on. Okay, that is your primary agenda. A networking event is not sit and talk to him for hours and hours. Then you miss the opportunity of meeting other people. Okay, so that should be go fast, introduce, qualify yourself, take the person's details and tell that person, I'll get in touch with you tomorrow, day after, or after a week or whatever. Okay. Now, here comes the next part, which is very critical. You must know what you're going to say about yourself, about your company, about the value that you offer. You must have that written down, memorized, and you should know how to say it. You should even know how to introduce yourself, and you should have the common sense to know when to introduce yourself. Suppose that person's talking to 3-4 people and they all dressed up elegantly. That is the wrong time to push in your, hey, this is me, And sometimes when they're talking to VVIPs, or you can make out delegations that are coming down from another country, you standing there for hours and hours, he'll just look at you, then he'll say, excuse me, and then he'll come to you, yeah, what do you want? And you might say that, yeah, I'm so-and-so. He'll just brush you off because he's busy. He finds more value with these people. So you have to have common sense to know when, where, and how. And suppose you were to meet them where common sense is applicable. Suppose you just came in and they are just setting up, and you come and he'll be like, yes, oh, I want to meet you. Can you give me some time? Or you're meeting them when they are closing down things. Yeah, he'll be very fast. So you need to know when. Sometimes it's actually good to meet them when they're closing down, so they'll put the least amount of resistance for you. Then obviously you need to know, is it better to meet them before lunchtime because maybe he's really hungry, or after lunchtime? There you need to use your common sense and your ability to read through people. Another area where common sense, but here rather social intelligence or emotional intelligence comes into place. Is it a man or woman? Is it someone, senior in terms of hierarchy, or junior? Is it someone whose age is high, or is it low? Or are they a salesperson, or are they a decision maker? Because see, sometimes if a man approaches a women, you don't know how they'll react. Maybe they are not very comfortable. Maybe they don't want to talk to you much. Because sometimes ladies get many guys talking to them. So it's different approach for a man and woman. Let's say, for instance, you're talking about a salesman versus a decision maker. Salesman is eager to meet people because he has a target, so he'll be very sweet and nice with everyone. But then that doesn't necessarily mean anything. A decision maker may not show over enthusiasm. He's just interested in meeting at someone high level. Maybe someone who's very mature, he can read you faster than you can read him. Or someone who is, let's say, junior level, he's just an amateur. Maybe you can use him to extract more information. So you have to keep these factors in mind. The next thing I want you to keep in mind is, as you meet people, as you talk, you keep talking and your mouth will tend to smell, or you might look tired, or you need to keep yourself fresh. Be aware of that. That is just a grooming tip. Especially body odor. Oh, please. And sometimes people tend to wear suits and jackets. It can be slightly uncomfortable or very heavy. Be aware of that. Okay? Sometimes you even need to put on a disguise so people can't see through you. And maybe you wear an ordinary outfit. No, obviously not shorts or something. Just without a suit and tie. And maybe when you're meeting them, you can wear a suit and tie, or vice versa. Sometimes you need to wear a suit and tie and look amazing so that they'll deal with you. In fact, let me give one loophole of the system. I know some people, in fact, I've done this, where when you register, they present their personal business card and position themselves as CEO, director, so they get a particular badge. Because obviously people read your badge, when they interact with you. So if you have sales executive, they look down on you. But if you have a big position, they look up. So be careful of this one, because sometimes if you get caught, then you're in trouble. Then another area which I think you should keep in mind is, make sure you have all the tools necessary, like stationery, pen, paper, your iPad, your phone, whatever. Make sure there's a charger, if in case battery power you need. Make sure there's a small water if you need to take small sips. Okay. And be wary that you need to keep your energy throughout the whole day. So don't eat overly sugary, overly this thing where you feel sluggish. Even during lunch, fast. Just take a bite fast, and remember, it's overpriced over there. And if you're going for an event that is just a few hours and you see people eating a buffet there and all that, don't suddenly start stuffing your mouth. Oh, free food, free alcohol. You're not. I used to make this mistake. I used to go to these events and see delicious food. It was obviously a 5-star hotel. I was too busy eat and drink. So stupid of me. But then again, I was not going to jump very far in the corporate world. But you're not there for that. And be wary of the fact, if you have juice or wine or something and something falls, smudges, make sure that you have a backup in your car, extra shirt, because if a stain falls, it looks very bad. Then last few points that I'll give you, which I feel would add value. Every person you meet, he gives you a business card. Take the business card with respect. Please never do this. Don't take the business card and start flossing your teeth. And there are some people who actually do that. They'll take your business card and start flossing their teeth. You must take it with respect, and when you give your card, give it with respect. And if you find anyone doing that, call them out. Let them know they're dealing with someone who has his wits about himself. I have literally seen someone take my business card and then start flossing their teeth unconsciously. And that time I was too young. I didn't know what to do or how to react to it. So take your card with respect. That is, Japanese people, when they give the card, they'll give it with both their hands and they bow. So remember, even if someone gives you just like this, take it with respect. And after you finish interacting with them, either you can write behind the card what was agreed with them or decided with them, and what is the plan of action, or take the key aspects of the card, the information, write down number 6 or number 7 on your phone or iPad. Write down, I met this guy, this is what we talked about. He asked me to meet him on a Monday or Sunday or Tuesday at 5 p.m. He seemed, and write down your personal thoughts. He seemed friendly, he seemed aloof. He told me to meet this guy, that guy, whatever. And keep this, because I'll tell you why later, why that would be useful. And finally, during a networking event, be the first one to come there and be the last one to leave. So you network with every single person. You take every single card. You're there to take maximum advantage. And until everyone goes. And sometimes, even after everyone has gone, maybe the guy who's there is still the organizer. And if you network with him, maybe he'll give you some key bits of information, what you need to know. And that can always prove to be very useful. In my days, I used to actually go to these conference events and halls 1 to 3 days before the event. There I used to meet stand builders. I used to meet actual decision makers would come there because they're checking the place. I used to meet even event organizers. And we used to busy exchange information, and they came to know who I am. And that was very useful for me. But later on, when you need passes and all that, they know you're there. Okay. And sometimes, suppose you do something weird or crazy, they'll be on your side, or there's some issue or trouble. Because I used to dress up in like Halloween costumes and all that. So there were people busy complaining about me being satanic or anti-Islamic, or they'd complain this guy has to be thrown out. So the event organizer who knew me, he would warn me, don't be in this area, or just do this. And yes, free passes is always good, so you don't have to pay money. And sometimes they even give you vouchers for free stuff, And then obviously after everyone is gone, then you go home and don't delay it. Immediately transfer all this data to an Excel sheet. So now you have a data of name, number, email, what was discussed, what were your observations, and then have the plan of action. Should you send them a thank you note, which is always recommended, and then make sure that you have a follow-up. I'll get in touch with you after 4 days, 5 days, whatever. And remember, they'll be tired because they took part in a conference, and they work very, very hard because they also have to present reports. So after maybe 3-4 days, then follow up, and that is how you build a relationship with them. See, obviously, some of you will ask me, oh, I'm shy, oh, I don't know what to say. This comes with practice. And if you're looking to speed up the process, obviously you need either to observe and learn from professionals or seek professional coaching and mentoring, either of the two, because there's no other shortcut or way to go about this. Expertise or the development of skill comes by actual practice. And actual practice comes either by doing it by yourself or by practicing with your coach or mentor. So these are some of the tips I can give you in terms of mentoring and coaching. In terms of networking. Okay. And I can tell you this, I have been doing this as long as I can remember. Right from age of 16, I think I used to, obviously I didn't know it was called mentoring, networking. I used to just go and introduce myself and have my personal cards and follow up with them. I never knew it was called networking. But like I told you, I've made many mistakes in the past where talking too much or taking too much time or going to an event to eat food and waste time, and sometimes see a beautiful girl and end up talking there more. And so these are the mistakes that I made. And sometimes I used to even mistake someone's kindness or eagerness to talk to me as, oh, things are working out very well. Keep this in mind. End of the day, if you network with 100 people, the actual useful ones may even be as less as just one or none. But if you get 10% out of the cards, you have taken 10%, you have had a successful networking event. Okay? Anyway, this is for corporate, not dating and blind dates and seducing women or whatever. Hope these tips helped you. Let me know in the comments below if you found this to be of any use. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them. I definitely will look into it. I'll read them and I'll answer. So let me know if you find such videos useful. Comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.